Hello everyone. Today let's understand what JWT is and what problem it solves. Imagine how do you websites remember that you are logged in even after multiple requests, and how do they do it without storing the sessions on the server? Problem: the server every time a request comes to the server needs to verify is this a user authenticated or not. So for this, the traditional approach is store the session in the memory, okay, in the server memory. But this is hard to scale. Why? Because we have now, when we scale our application, we use load balancers, we have multiple servers, so there is not guarantee that every request from the client will go to the same server. So in that case, if the first request go to server 1, user is authenticated, but next time if user performs some activity and if the request goes to server 2, then that token or session is not present in server 2, so it will throw an error even though it is a valid user. So idea to solve this is, instead of using a session and storing it in the memory, we use something called a JWT token. So it is nothing but JSON Web Token. How it works? So user logs in, okay, so the server, it goes to the server checks for the login credentials, username and password in the database. If that is a valid, then server creates a token, okay, signed token, then and it returns it in the response. Client stores the token. It can be in, if it's a web application, it can store it in cookies or in the local storage. Similarly for mobile apps, client send token in every request. Now what will happen is, once the client has the token, in all the next requests, like we want user navigates to home page, about us, contact us, all those pages, he in the API request he will send this token. So when the next request arrives at the server's job is just to verify this token. That's it. You don't have to check any if that user is logged in or not, if this session is valid or not, this token is valid or not, because token has everything. So what is the advantage of that? That the server side session is not required now. Now you can scale your application. Even if the server is crashed and a new server is started using the auto scaling groups, it has to just verify the token is a valid token for our server or not. Okay. Now the advantage is that server does not store anything. Instead it just verifies the token. Okay. Now let's understand what JWT is and how it solves that problem. So here is the structure of JWT. So JWT, this is the final structure. You can see this is the first base 64, then there is a dot as a separator, then there is a second base 64, and there is a third base 64 encoded string. So first it tells what algorithm it is using, okay, to encode. This is a algo SS256, type is JWT, and payload is, you can pass extra data, like for example if you want to store user ID or username in the data, so that it is easy for the user to at the server level to retrieve and do perform any activity if they did it. So you can store minimum amount of data in the payload. There is no restriction as if what you can store in the payload, but you can, if you store as much of data, then your payload size will get increased, so the base 64 encoder of payload will get increased. And third is the signature. Signature is nothing but the encrypted base 64 URL, header, payload and secret. Okay, so this is how the JWT token will be looking like: header, payload and signature. These are the three set together form a JWT set. Payload contains the payload can be have user deleted data. Signature ensures the token is not tampered, that is different. This makes the authentication as a stateless. Okay, now let us understand how it actually validates. So the signature is how signature is verified. So when the client sends the token to the server extracts the token. What it does is, it first splits the token into three parts, sorry: header, payload and signature. So what it does is, based on the header what you have mentioned, the signature algorithm, using the algorithm specified in the header, it again encodes it. You can see this formula hmac 255 base 64 encode header plus payload and the secret key, which is already present in the server, and then it compares this new signature with the signature that it has got in the token. So if the two signature matches, then it's a valid token, else it is a invalid token. It throws an error. It doesn't need to manage anything else. Let's see this a simple Node.js example. So here I have created a simple Node.js application. We are using an Express to make the routes. Okay, then you need this particular JSON Web Token package. So this is a wrapper library. So all it does is the just creation of JSON Web Token and the validation of JSON Web Token. So we don't have to write any custom logic for that. So this is JWT token. Then this is a normal Express creation, and then we have to create this as a so that we can parse the data. This is a random key, secret key. In order to encrypt the encode the data, we have to use a secret key. You can use anything. For now this is a testing purpose, so I have used the random key. So first we need to create a route for login. When user submits his username and password, it will check in the database. For now I have not written any logic. We assume this demo is for only JWT, so I have assumed that it is a valid user, and then this will generate the token which will have an expiry of one hour. Okay, so we can set the expiry for 1 hour. So this whether token once the token get expired, the job is of JWT is to set it that it is expired. We don't have to manage that. We just have to set initial expiry time. So we have set for now is 1 hour, and in the payload we are sending just username. So if you hit this API, you will get a response as token. So let me just start this server. Yeah, so our server is running on 3000. You can do this demo in the Postman browser also, but in the second request, in the browser you don't have the option to send the customized header. I'll explain you what you have to do. So here, if you could, so we'll be using Postman for that. So you can see here. So I've just created one route, localhost 3000/login. For now, we are just passing admin. So this is a token that is generated by this JWT. So this is a valid user, and so we got this token. Next, I'll show you the code. Next is now we have a route, protected route. For example, this can be anything like a dashboard route, about us, contact us, or any other further APIs. So what it does is first it checks for this token authorization. Okay, authorization in the headers, and then if it is not present, it will go token mismatch, token missing. So I'll just show you this. Let me just delete this. Token is missing because I passed this authorization bearer token, but token is not present. Okay, so this is the error when you got this error, the token is missing. Next, what it does, it will split because we have written authorization. We are fetching authorization, but the way it is written, it has bearer space token, and so we split the authorization header in two parts. First is bearer space authorization. So here we are taking the second part, which is nothing but actual token. So here what it does, it fetches the token, and we have the secret already, and then it verifies the last slide which I told, that it encrypts this header and payload again, and then it will verify with the signature. If it is matched, then it will tell you that okay, it's a valid signature. So now if I use this token, since it has expiry of one hour, this token is still valid. So I'll just copy it and just paste it here, and when I try, we get welcome admin. This is nothing but this success verification got success, and hence we got welcome. We passed username admin, it decoded from the token, and we got that same username, welcome admin. Suppose so now I'll just show you one more thing. Suppose this is we have this token, somebody tries to tamper this token. For example, there is a website called JWT. It's official. It's their official website. They help you to debug it. Understand what they did in the JWT. So JWT. So this is their official website. Here, whatever JWT token you have got, you can just drop in here. I'll just paste it here. So this is the JWT token that we have generated. So what it tells is this is a header, and this is the type. This is the username that we are passing. This is This is the expiry time 17 10 16 1 hour. Okay, and this is if you want to encrypt, we can encrypt. Now suppose if I change something, let me just check if I can change it. I'm not sure. Here we can change it. Oh yeah, here we can change it. Suppose I change the admin to say test. Okay, so now the token JWT, now the JWT token got changed. So now if I try this copy, and if I try to try to fetch the data with incorrect token, okay, see we got invalid token because the token is tampered. Correct. Here in the slide we have mentioned that it checked for the signature. So what happened is the signature it had was incorrect. The signature here it went the signature matching which happens at the in the end, so that is incorrect because the token got tampered with changing the username. So that is the reason why, because the it will what do you say, it will first check for the what it does, it got the token, so it took the header and the payload and the secret that it has, okay, generated, and they try to matches the new secret because the header had payload has a different username and secret generated has a different username. So that is the reason, that is the problem. Okay, so this is how JWT solves the problem in the modern web application. You don't need us to store session in the modern web mobile application. That is why JWT is widely used and for web and mobile apps. Yeah, thank you for that.